Hi, I'm Jeff from AMS, and today we're installing one of our Escort Redline360 custom installed radar detection laser defense systems into this 2023 McLaren Artura. We wanted to show you a little bit more about these systems, what all parts are involved, and what they can do, and how we can do some really cool custom things with them. These new Redline systems come with two of these digital radar receivers that get mounted behind the front and rear bumper fascias. In this car, for example, the radar receiver is right behind this section of the bumper, as a radar can go through plastic. Now, these all digital receivers can filter out all the in-vehicle technology that's on the road. So you're not going to be getting false alerts from other vehicles, blind spot sensors, collision avoidance, things like that. Runs a lot quieter, less annoying, only tells you when there's a true alert. Now these also have these little guys here. These are laser shifting devices. The Redline 360 system has 3 of these in the front, 2 transceivers, 1 transmitter. What these will do is when they see an incoming signal from a police enforcement laser gun, they will shift the signal by emitting a bunch of infrared energy, giving an error back to the gun that's an angle offset error, as if they didn't hit you from the right angle, so they cannot get an accurate speed reading on the vehicle. Gives you time to reduce your speed as opposed to an instant ticket. Now in just a minute I'll show you where these went on the vehicle. We did some custom installation with infrared acrylic, makes them almost invisible on the vehicle if you were to look for them, but we'll get to that in a second here. 2 of these will also go on the back of the vehicle, 1 transceiver, 1 transmitter, giving full 360-degree protection. This also does have a GPS antenna that can track locations, so it can memorize areas where there are false alerts from large buildings, radar door systems, or other things, and it won't notify you after you pass those a couple times. Locks them in its GPS coordinates. You also can lock in speed traps that you know are there, or anything that you want to be reminded of, aware of. Now the GPS antenna on this McLaren is right in front of the headline underneath the bumper skin here, again completely hidden and concealed. Now these systems, being that all the sensors are mounted on the outside of the vehicle as opposed to a traditional radar detector that hangs from your rear view mirror, there are 2 internal components, both a small display module as well as a small control head that can be mounted in a variety of different places in the vehicle. We have different custom ways we can mount these, or we can more or less hide them completely away, depending on your preference. Alright, now I'm going to show you where we ended up putting these laser shifters on the front of this McLaren and how we made them almost invisible. Now, this vehicle didn't have a lot of real estate for the outside shifters, very narrow air ducts. What we ended up doing was in these air ducts here, and I'll get a little closer in a second, I 3D scanned and was able to 3D print a mold of the upper arch of that air duct. I was then able to machine in the laser shifters into the front of it, get them mounted up into those cavities, and then we formed a piece of infrared acrylic over the front of it. The infrared acrylic is black plastic that only infrared waves can go through. So on a black car, it blends right in with the glossy appearance. Looks like it's supposed to be there. The center shifter we also made a mount for. I'll zoom in on that in a second, with the acrylic IR over it. Again, looks like a feature of the car, not something that was added to it. Okay, so those were a couple shots of the building and construction of the outer pods. Now as we go to look in here, you really don't see anything at all, and I even have a LED light shining on this. Right here is the acrylic that the infrared will pass through, completely hidden in there. Then we go to the center. This one had a camera dead center in the vehicle, so ended up making a pod off to the side and shaped it that doesn't look too much unlike something else like the factory radar sensor in there. Anyone that doesn't know what it is would never know this is an aftermarket piece. There also is the third shifter then in this other duct. It is sloped back to try to keep the aerodynamics into this cavity as best as possible as well. On the back of the vehicle, we did end up building two concealed pods for the laser shifters as well. They went here and here. I'll get you a closer look at those in a second. And the radar receiver went behind this section of the bumper, completely hidden from sight. Here's a closer view of the rear shifter pods. As you can see, they blend in exceptionally well, especially on a black vehicle. Look like just a factory feature of the vehicle, not something added aftermarket. All right, now all we need to do is get the interior components finished up in this vehicle. This vehicle is getting the display module etched into the rear view mirror to be extremely discreet, and that's being done by Radar Mirror. The glass is back ordered for a couple months. We're going to be putting the display somewhere temporary for now and changing it out for the Radar Mirror when the glass becomes available. If you have any questions about radar systems or what we can do with your car, feel free to give us a call at the store, 608-274-7400, or stop by our showroom, bring your car in, we'll show you what all we can do. Thanks for watching.